Hello everybody. In this video I am going to talk about action research, very important testing tool. Actually, action research are two simple words to understand literally. Anyone can understand them easily to explain. When it comes to using them and following them in teaching and learning process, they are very important to remember and understand their significant place in teaching and learning practice. And if they are put into practice, it's very important and useful for the students. In teaching profession, reflecting upon what we practice in the class should be a regular phenomena. If something is practiced and it may not be received, if same thing is practiced, it may not be received properly. When we reflect upon what we do, we can modify it. So reflection should be a part of teaching profession. Such teachers are called practicing teachers. According to John Dewey, a reflective teacher is open-minded, responsible, whole-hearted, and with passion for a profession. According to Mr. Scan, a reflective teacher constantly engages himself in a constant dialogue between thinking and doing. Here, doing is teaching. Action research dates back to 20th century, mid 20th century, spreading over different fields, including education. Actually, Kurt Lehman, a psychologist, used it in research of social problems. Stephen M. Covey defined action research is searching for solutions of real-life problems. Action research helps practicing teachers to overcome problems in teaching learning process by modifying their strategies to better their professional skills. Practicing teachers do invite the changes that happen every day to make their profession dynamic and open to new changes as new methods and new techniques and technology are coming in our way. So, routine methods may not achieve the set goals or objectives, so it has to be modified according to day-to-day changes. Psychologist Steve Quammen made following remarks on action research. It is to be followed by practicing teachers who always look for newness in the profession. It is the result of passion that teachers have for profession. If it is considered routine, there is no problem at all. What is to be considered routine? Reflecting on what we teach, how far we are doing justice, because everything is subject to change. If teaching doesn't change, the generation doesn't change. If generation doesn't change, there will be no change in society. If there is no change in society, and there will be no change in almost all fields, our entire spectrum of development of nation would be affected. So, a passionate teacher can always engage himself in action research to better his professional skills, to modify methods and teaching strategies in teaching and learning process. So, let us talk about why and when, how and what to do as part of action research. First of all, planning. A researcher should have or needs proper planning for solving problem at initial stage. Actually, good planning emerges comes out of dissatisfaction with present methods of teaching. So next one is acting. Once it is planned, that plan is put into action. And observation. And what is to be observed? We have plan is put into action, and when it comes to observation, we need to observe the subject for noticeable changes constantly. And recording, what should we record? We should record the changes we observe. By observing changes, and they have to be recorded for proper reflection. So reflection, what we are doing before reflecting upon what is done, what is preceded, what came before, what come before, that plan is, it is planned, plan is put into action, and that plan is observed for noticeable results, noticeable changes, and that changes are recorded. But one thing we should keep in mind, before reflecting upon, we need to analyze the results and then reflecting upon what we have noticed. So if the problem is not solved, what to do? Here we should take the example of a doctor. Every doctor is an action researcher. And what does he do? When a patient comes with a problem, he goes on prescribing medicines. When one set of medication, one set of tablets fails to give him relief, then he changes medicines. So he goes on experimenting with the patient. So every doctor is an action researcher, as after conducting many experiments with the patient, he comes to conclusion that a set of tablets, a set of medicines can cure this kind of problem. Now, when problem is not solved, it is to be replanned, planning again and react, putting the problem into action again. And then once it is reacted, means put into action again, it is observed again. That is called reobservation. And when it is, it is carried out, observed, and when it is observed, what we, as part of observation, what we do? We record the changes again. And recording the observations, once replan is put into action, and then they are recorded. And they are recorded, these observations are analyzed, and then they are reflected upon. So in this way, it is a never-ending process. Action research is a never-ending process, and it continues as long as the problem continues. An active, passionate, hardworking, open-minded teachers keep doing action researches to better their strategies in teaching and learning process. So students, it is about action research.